So, Mum, what are we going to be making today?
Well, our traditional moussaka. Okay. It comes from the background of from Greece, from Cyprus, and this is plain, simple, and really, it's really an earthy meal.
Well, the first thing we need to make is the meat sauce.
The first thing is to prepare the eggplant.
Oh, OK.
So we can salter it.
You're running
and
the
let
show
it sit,
today, aren't you?
and let it sit for a while.
OK.
And then we start.
So
on
you're
the
basically saying you're the executive chef today and I'm the apprentice?
I'm the mum chef.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so tell me what the first step is. The
first step is to clean the eggplant.
Yeah.
Salter it.
Why do you salt it?
So it'll bring out all the bitterness, that has the eggplant, and then you start frying it.
OK.
All right, but it's got to sit at least for about 15 minutes to half an hour.
With the salt on it?
With the salt on.
Eggplant, it's quite versatile in Greek cooking, isn't it?
Very versatile. You can have it with little dips and cut it in strips and dip it into and eat it raw. It's just a wholesome fruit.
Mary, just wondering why you didn't completely peel them, why you left some of the skin on.
You've got to leave a little bit of skin to make it look presentable. When you're cutting it, you can see that it's an eggplant. Otherwise, you might think it's potato.
Yeah.
If you clean the whole thing.
So we lay them out?
We lay them out. Get some salt, please.
We've got this fancy salt, Mum. Sprinkle some.
Sprinkle over, please. Thank you.
All right.
A bit more.
She likes her salt like her son.
That's it.
OK, and we just leave that for how long?
For at least 15 minutes to half an hour. You just cover it, and that brings all the bitterness out into that. And by having the chunks on top, it'll just draw it up on top as well.
Right, Mum. What's next?
We start with the sauce now to prepare our sauce. So first of all...
turn the pot on?
Yes, please, George. Some of your lovely olive oil.
We love olive oil, don't we?
Look, I'll cook with olive oil day and night. You know, no doubt about that.
Okay.
Now, the olive oil, I only put, whatever your pot is, you just put enough olive oil to cover your pot. About a quarter cup of olive oil in there, all right? Not too much, because you're going to get your fats out of your meats out of that,
Okay,
all right?
so what, not the onions?
Now, no, not the onion.
Oh, okay.
First, because that'll fry.
Yeah.
First, you put your 300 grams of lamb, 100 grams of pork, and 100 grams of veal.
Okay. Now, it's quite interesting, because I'd normally sweat the onions off first.
No.
OK.
Because you're going to get the pot smelling onion, and once the meat goes in, it just fries the onion too much, right? Once this has gone really broken down and it changes the colour, then we're going to start putting all our other ingredients in. Do you want to clean the potatoes while you're waiting for me, please?
All right.
Now.
So, Mum, these potatoes are going to go in the moussaka?
Yes.
And I'm just peeling them first?
Just peel them, please, yes. Now we're adding the onion. One whole big onion.
OK. Just diced up, yeah?
Diced, yes.
Now, can you make a vegetarian moussaka?
Yes, you can. I was going to say that. In the old days, they would only use the potato and the eggplant and the bechamel.
Yeah.
You can use different types of vegetables, like a bit of zucchini, mushrooms, celery, carrot.
What did you just put in now?
Now, I just added a garlic.
2 cloves?
2 cloves of garlic. Now, we're going to add our beautiful spices. Without these spices, moussaka does not taste as it should taste. Now, you need at least 1 good tablespoon of oregano, 1 tablespoon of thyme, and 1 tablespoon of rosemary.
Yum.
2 cinnamon quills.
Now, you put in cinnamon quills so you can take them out later?
Yes,
or?
exactly. If you put the dry, a teaspoon, it'll make the sauce very dark. So by putting the quill, it'll keep it to its lovely, beautiful red colour. Now, we're ready to put our chopped tomatoes, 250 grams. Stir that in. And then we got some tomato puree. We need at least 400 grams in that. And some tomato paste. In this one, I would only use 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Yeah. Now, water, about 1.5 cups. OK.
Great.
Simmering. Got to put that very low.
And that just ticks away gently, yeah?
You let it simmer for at least a good half an hour, and then your sauce is quite ready.
The next step, we've got to fry the potatoes and the eggplant.
We only want to just half cook them, not cook them fully.
How many potatoes, Mum, for one moussaka?
For one moussaka, you need at least 2 large potatoes, or if it's too large, 3 small ones.
So these were cooking for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side?
Yes, definitely.
Until they're cooked through?
Until they're cooked through. It depends on your potato.
Right, let's have a look at the eggplant. Ah, all that moisture.
The moisture has come out, and it's just fantastic. So the bitterness is gone, and they'll taste so sweet and delicious. But prior to frying it, we have to take them and just place them back on that chucks and press them thoroughly.
So
There's
would you
no
not
liquid
wash them
on
in
that.
water?
No, because it'll draw like a sponge, and it'll just be a ruined food.
And I know you sometimes for Dad just flour them and fry them and has them as like a little
Beautiful,
mezze, yeah?
very nice. You can just lightly, gently flour it and fry it, and just put it in a Pyrex dish with a little bit of vinaigrette, and just serve it with garlic, and it's just lovely. It's a very light antipasto.
Yum. You're still leaving a little bit of sort of texture on them,
yes,
correct?
you have to leave it, otherwise you can't burn them.
Because they're going to cook again in the tray.
In your tray,
And you don't want them too mushy.
No, no.
Okay, that's a good little tip. I mean, you know, a lot of people at home would generally cook them right through, then put them in the tray, cook them again, and then it's like mush. So you want still a little bit of texture there. So you're going to go through that bechamel, through the mince, through the eggplant, through the potato, and get some real good, lovely texture and flavour there.
I love doing these ones on the barbecue outside, actually. Just add a bit of olive oil and just put them on your barbecue outside, and even your potatoes too.
Fantastic. Now, we've made the meat sauce, the potatoes, eggplants are cooked. The next step is to make the bechamel. Mum, how do you make a bechamel? Well, your bechamel.
My bechamel sauce. Now, let's put the stove on first. Right. First, we add the butter.
Okay, how much butter?
100 grams of butter.
Yeah. So you melt that all the way down?
You melt it all the way down.
But you don't burn it?
You don't burn it, no. You just melt it right down. Then we're going to add our plain flours.
100 grams of plain flour?
100 grams of plain flour. Make sure you mix it thoroughly so the whole flour is all dissolved into the butter.
So basically you're making a classic roux.
A classic roux, yeah, exactly. And then we add 600 mils of warm, or you can not boil it, but just enough to take the chill out of the milk. When you put cold milk, it just goes all lumpy and it's hard to get it nice and smooth.
Give that
and it's just lovely. No, I'm fine. It's nice.
She doesn't let me do anything in the kitchen.
George, this is my kitchen today, so please listen to Mum. Now, it's all beautifully and creamy texture.
Right.
The next thing we add, 100 grams of Greek cheese called, you have to pronounce this properly, kefalograviera. Okay? Now, if you go...
Kefalograviera.
But if you went to a deli, you just ask, could I have the cheese that's called head cheese? That's what it is. Kefalo, it's the kefali, the head. And they're making to like a big head. That's why they've named it years ago.
Mary, if we couldn't find it, what would be a good substitute?
Parmesan.
Yeah.
Parmesan, yes.
Now, that looks a little bit thick. Do we add some milk to that?
No, we're going to add...
We've got milk here.
We just add a little bit of milk because it's a little bit thickened.
Yeah.
That's plenty.
Okay, just
Beautiful.
to loosen it up. And
We're
then
going to add just the 1 egg.
And the egg's going to make it nice and rich.
Rich, yes.
Yeah, make it nice and silky smooth. Yes. And when you cook it in the oven, it's going to set.
It's going to set beautifully. And while the egg is all dissolved into your bechamel sauce, and then you'll be fine. It's all nice and ready, see?
OK, Mum, so the mince is made, the bechamel's made, our eggplant and potato are made. Yes. Now it's time to assemble.
It's all ready to assemble.
What's first?
First, we've got to add a little bit of our sauce.
Yeah. So you just, a thin layer, you don't have to cover all of it, do you?
The next thing is you put your layer of your potatoes down the bottom. And it's nice to put them all in a row, like little soldiers. The reason is when you cut your moussaka, it comes out so beautifully and everything looks in lovely layers.
Nice and even.
Yes, and more mince. George, you know one thing? I've been watching the show, as you know. I'm a fan of yours here.
Yeah.
The thing is, you shouldn't be changing the flavours and changing the recipes, especially the Greek recipes, darling. You should stick to the proper recipes and don't bastardize them. I don't like that idea. So please, listen to me.
Oh, there's going to be some serious chats after this show. Right, so
now, we've got a layer of eggplant.
Yeah. You know what's great, having my mum up in Sydney? I don't have to make my bed. It's like the good old days. It's great.
We just had another layer of potato. It's up to your choice, but because we've got a little bit extra, we can do that. It's more nice and more filling.
OK. So you fill up that last layer of potato?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Then if you want, you can just lay these ones on top.
You don't like to waste anything,
No,
do you?
you don't waste, no. Unless you want to make 2 batches, but this one batch is going to be filling for at least good 6 people to come for dinner.
Hayden, I know your mum's a really great cook. Do you love cooking with her?
I do, yeah, George. It's great fun, and I can see a very similar interaction that you have with your mum, and it's the same sort of thing in the kitchen with me.
Who's the better cook, you or your mum?
Your mum.
Yeah, definitely mum.
OK, Mum, so you've put all your layers of meat, potato and eggplant in. Now, the last step is to put the bechamel, correct?
That's right. We
All
can
right.
add the bechamel on top.
Do you want me to help?
Yes, please. I know why you want to help. I want to lick the pot. That's it. George, that's rude.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, OK. So what's next?
Now, next, I'll just put that... thank you, George. There it goes again. Just grate a little bit of kefalograviera on top and you'll be fine. And then it's ready to be baked.
OK, so put this in the oven, 180 degrees?
Yes, please.
And that's for about 45 minutes. So the moussaka's been in the oven. I think we need to eat it.
Oh, George, I'm just in time. Just in time for my little taster. I got the moussaka. This is a moussaka spoon, OK? And everybody in the family has one of those.
You know where I will use that, Gary. It's not for my moussaka.
How many times did you get hit with a wooden spoon?
Oh, heaps, heaps.
That looks absolutely delicious.
Here goes, everyone. Here's my moussaka.
Love it.
Food is for family to be shared, so please welcome and let's try our moussaka. Okay?
Have you got your moussaka spoons?
They're all coming up.